Hi everyone, Sue Matsuki here again with another Sue's Muse for NiteLife Exchange. Today I'm very excited. My boss is here. Please welcome Scott
Uh,
Barbarino.
Boss is in the house, huh?
You're the least bossiest boss I know. He gives us
You
free
know,
reign to do what we do. We get edited and then we go. It's amazing. You're
yeah,
wonderful to
I've
work
never
for.
been fond of the word boss, except in movies,
There you
Or,
go. Or as a character role. So Scott, I'm going to just start right out. Scott is the person who put together NiteLife Exchange. So I want to ask you, how long has it been? What was the idea initially? And how are you growing NiteLife Exchange these days?
okay, so we started about 17 years ago. And what was happening 17 years ago is, and it's still happening, it's almost complete now. Paper went away. There wasn't any more paper, but things being printed on actual paper, backstage. And we used to get things in timeout. And there were
Stu
things.
Hamster used to handwrite something.
Yeah. And all of that started disappearing. And it was the age of everybody shifting to, the computers and the internet and all of that. And I said, we need to create something that's going to be a place where we can promote what we do. I was still performing. I'm back doing it now, but I was really performing a lot then. And I couldn't find places to get my information out through. And so at that time, I decided, okay, why don't we start NiteLife Exchange? It was originally Cabaret Exchange, and then we switched the name. And Cabaret Exchange was a place where I put my own information, and then as long as we covered all the shows and all the clubs, and then it was going to work. And so that's what we've been doing since then, for a while. And we ran for a while in different modes, but now the main focus of what we really want to do is stuff like this video. People are not reading, let's face it.
Yeah.
People are not reading. They want to see an interview. They want to hear the words. And with that in mind, we've also now shifted a bit, and I've put resources towards building our Instagram, which I was hesitant to do only because our resources were limited. But now it's at the point where if anybody wants to find out what we're up to, they can go to our advertising page, and we're putting video and sound together and creating uh, you know, um, Instagram pieces to go out to
Mhm.
share. And the next goal after that is for me to try and completely wrap my brain around what it is that this TikTok is, because it's a special
It's
thing.
a diner on 40 on
And
35th Street, right?
it
34th Street.
is.
Yeah.
That's true. And that's still there. But I haven't completely. I've had many conversations with younger people generally because they're the ones that know it, and I haven't completely figured it out, but I'm working on that. And then our, in-house, our our IT website manager, all of that is Winston
Yeah, Winston's
Mathis, and
amazing.
yeah, he's working. He's really good, and then he's working on learning it as well. So once we've got the Instagram up and running, and I'm hoping that people will check out like our Instagram or follow our Instagram. The like, the follow, there's all these different phrases of all of it, but please do that because that's going to help us grow and reach. The most important thing is to reach new audience.
Right.
I can,
And this is for all of you, by the way. This isn't just to point towards NiteLife Exchange because, we're almost a 501. We're
listen,
almost a nonprofit here. But I mean, we operate on a shoestring budget, but by helping and by coming to us, we help you because if we get the hits, then you get the hits for your show. And this is truly our intent. I think it is. I mean, I lovingly refer to NiteLife Exchange as the TV guide of nightlife here in New York, and we're constantly coming up with ideas to expand on that and to make that happen. Now, you mentioned that people can take banner ads and stuff like that. Do you
yeah,
have sponsors or patrons that support us as well? I
we
never
haven't,
really actually asked
yeah,
you this.
I haven't gone out, and I've tried that a couple of different times with clubs
Mhm.
to give them, to have them sponsor different pages or different, and it hasn't gone, most of our revenue is coming from banner ad sales.
Mhm.
And then I that goes back into running the site and allowing us to do these other projects and spend the time on, again, TikTok. is the end goal, only because it's going to bring things out to a big world out there that we have no idea who's going to be interested in cabaret. But if we don't throw the line into the water, we're not going to catch the fish. So the goal is to actually, and also our readership is very diverse now. We changed from cabaret,
Well, you cover
cabaret.
jazz, you cover
Yeah, we
pop,
have
you cover
jazz.
the cabaret and the drag community, which nobody's really focusing all that much on except for
Yes.
specific sites. So that's why we say nightlife and not just cabaret.
Yeah. And I have to say, Sue, and I know you were there and you remember it, and I'm fully 100% supporting the MAC organization right now because I feel that Julie Miller has done a really good job of getting it organized and running smoothly again. With not that it was terrible, but things needed to be updated a bit. And the fact that she's right now working on bringing more jazz related things back and also more drag, because back in the day there were categories that existed for those that every year it was a diverse community. We had cabaret, comedy, jazz, and improvisation or drag. So it's time to expand that and bring that back in, and bring that back to the awards. So
Speaking of the Max, if anybody wants to meet Julie, I have a Sue's Muse with Julie Miller right here. Just scroll down my list and get to know Julie. But aside from that, NiteLife Exchange, in an effort to be more a sponsor for other talent and younger talent in the city. I know you do a lot of this in your day job at Ellen Stardust Diner
yeah.
with all those wonderful singers that you have there. But tell us what NiteLife Exchange is going to do this year in conjunction with MAC.
Okay, so we have decided as a group, we had our meetings and came up with an idea that we really want to help younger performers, younger talent, new people to find out about Mac and to also be successful. And so we've gone to Mac and we've gotten the okay, and we're going to be doing an award during the Mac ceremony. We're going to have an award. It's going to be the Barry Levitt Award, and
Oh, that's great.
those people that know how much Barry put into the foundation of where we are today, including also, by the way, Provincetown, which he helped get that up and running. So that's going to be at the MAC Awards. We'll get like about 5 minutes. We'll give the award to somebody who's new, that's not known to the community. They'll get about 3 minutes to perform in front of people
Oh,
that
wonderful.
haven't seen it, and it's going to be that category that I used to call, and I still call, jazzare or cabaret, I think you say.
Cabaret
And
Jazz. I call it Cabaret Jazz.
because I like the vocal jazz stuff. I really do. That's one of my favorite things to listen to, and I love that. So, and Barry definitely was, he specialized in that. Barry and I worked together on a lot of projects, including we did the brunch. We did a brunch at the Iridium,
Mhm.
which gave a lot of people exposure that they wouldn't
Yeah, I
have
did one of
had.
them with you guys. And I remember you and I were on the board when Barry was president, and that MAC Awards was one of my favorite that had a lot of jazz that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of
And then
fun.
also Barry and I did Therese Janecko and her little big band, which was we did a
You
hundred
produced
shows
that
at
for a long
Iridium.
time. Yeah. Yeah. So
So
I'm going to talk to you now about, separate from Nightlife Exchange. You've kind of come out again, if you will, as a producer. I mean, you were a big named, Scott Barbarino in the Bev Naps with Ricky
right,
Rizzo. I mean, you've had a long history as a performer, and now you're coming out and performing more, but as a producer as well. So you've got Barbarino's Big Night Out, and you
yeah,
have Barbarino needs to take a nap. What is that?
yeah.
Tell
So
me about these two products and why now and why are you producing now again?
well, firstly, it was a while. It was a heartbreak when I was back in 2001. Things were going really well. We had won two MAC awards with the Bev Naps, and we had gone to London and we had performed in a large. It was a five-story building that a law firm was opening, and each floor was a decade, and we covered the 50s, and things were going really well. We had plans to go to Switzerland. We had a gig, and then the towers came down, and so
Hmm.
it's almost impossible. It became impossible to travel, and with time, group, you have to be working to keep a group working. So the Bevnaps and I stopped. I went on to other things, and now I'm looking and I'm saying, I really enjoy doing that, and I'm asking other people to do shows and perform. Let me see whether I can do this again. And I put
And I
together a new
notice your focus is on younger people, which I really, really applaud because the only way we perpetuate the American Songbook and the new American Songbook, not just the ones that
yeah.
you and I grew up with, the new songs that are coming into the catalog. And I really applaud that, Scott, because we've got to keep this beautiful art form going. Talk to me a little bit about Barbarino's Big Night Out and about these wonderful people that you have in the cast.
Okay, so Barbarino's Big Night Out is for my pleasure, really, truly my pleasure. I'm producing it, I'm directing it, though it'll need minimal direction because the talents that I'm bringing in, they'll know where to be. I'll move them around a little, but they're going to be good, and they're not going to need a whole lot. It's a variety show, and what I'm saying is it's a new variety show with younger people, but done in the OG way, which in the old way that we used to. Because look, a variety show is a variety show is a variety show, and
Right.
people love. We grew up with them on television all the time. People, will go if you don't enjoy one part or you're not that interested in one part, we wait a couple of minutes and the next thing comes. So I put together a nice cast of people. The goal is to try and mix the two worlds that I walk in, the cabaret world, Mac, and the cabaret world, and also Ellen Stardust Diner, which is my day job. Obviously, I'm the artistic director there. Putting things together, putting these people together, because a lot of people in my space at Ellen's that are younger, they don't know about the cabaret world. They don't know. They find out about different clubs. They're performing. A
Mhm.
lot of them are performing in places like, Green Room 42 and Chelsea Table and Stage. They found these new places. They're enjoying themselves, but they don't necessarily know that much about it. So putting these two groups of people together and mostly putting them together in an audience,
Mhm.
because we'll have the show. It's going to be at Lips, which is
Yeah, I was just going to ask, this is a brand new club. Tell me about Lips.
yeah, well, Lips has been around forever. We used to go to it it was downtown in the West Village. Then it moved uptown. It is the premier drag show palace. They work there Wednesday through Sunday, and they really present the best in that drag show experience. And people have been going there and filling the houses, but even still, Mondays and Tuesdays were dark or closed nights. They weren't open. And so they've decided to try and expand their programming. And Lawrence London, who's a friend that I know from Ellen's, is over there managing now.
Mhm.
And he said, would you put something together? And it's like, you know what, that sounds perfect. And that falls in line with also trying to expand the reach into the drag community for the cabaret community. And Mac itself, as we know, um, has started to look at it again. And I see Cabaret Scenes has Doris Deer on the front cover.
Awesome. Yeah.
It became like a separate. And look, the business of drag couldn't be doing better. They
Yeah,
are
truly.
really promoted out there, and RuPaul's work the stuff that he laid down, and all of that, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And we need to focus. We need to give those people share the stage with those people.
So
So
this is Tuesday nights, November 12th, 26th, and December 10th. What time are
uh,
these shows?
these shows are a little bit later. The doors open at 8:30, and the shows start at 9. Because I'm
Okay.
hoping that people can. Firstly, it's a Tuesday, and I want people to come that are the younger people that are going out a little bit later. Now, look at those girls, huh?
Yeah, tell
That
me who I mean, I know Hannah, but who are these other two lovelies?
this is the newly reconstituted Tropicabana girls, and I
Oh, they
had
kind of remind me of the Boswell sisters a little bit.
they're in that they're all of that. It's all of that wrapped in together. So you have Hannah Jane, who is all there on your left. Anyone that doesn't know Hannah Jane, I don't know in the cabaret community where you've been, because she's literally all over and doing
I
all
just
kinds of
did a
crazy.
Sue's Muse. You can watch it on,
Yeah,
I'm going to be posting it on November 1st, so you can meet Hannah
excellent.
on November 1st.
In the center is Lynn Weber, who is a performer from Ellen's, who was down doing Be Our Guest down in Florida for a year. She took a break. She's back in New York. She's a young performer who's a singer server. And then all the way on the right is, well, my right is Winter Commander, and she's also a server at Ellen's, a young server at Ellen.
Winter Commander?
Winter Commander. Yeah.
What a great name. Is that her real name?
Yeah, that's her real name.
Holy
And
smokes. That's
the three
awesome.
of them, I wanted to put together a vocal group, and it's the Tropicabana Trio.
Nice.
Okay.
Now,
Not
who's in the Tropicabana trio? Who are the musicians?
basically, we have one musician that will be playing for the evening. That's John Bronston.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, here's
Um,
your other product. And I
yeah,
got to tell you, first of all, I love the way you look. I love your glasses. This postcard, if I were teaching my business class, I would use this postcard as a card that says exactly what you're going to get at the show. Joy, fun.
yes.
I mean,
Joy,
it
fun, and
speaks to me. It's a postcard I would pick up. Tell me about this show.
yeah. Do I express the confusion on my face? Because that's part of the goal. That's definitely the character. So listen, back in the early late 1900s, you know,
When we both
and early
started.
2000s, I had a group, and what a lot of our comedy that we did came from the fact that we were all gay, and there was a lot of that, not all, but many of us were gay, and so there was a lot of that gay comedy that we would do things on stage that really spoke to that audience, and it was the time to do that because we were still breaking down the walls of
Mhm.
acceptance. Now I'm old, and I have all these younger people working with me, and so the comedy has shifted a bit to the differences between young and old, and the differences and there really are none. The differences are so minuscule in the end. But I'm really super proud of this group. And if you see JD, he sort of looks like he's popping out from my
From your
shoulder.
shoulder, yeah.
JD came into Ellen's Stardust Diner about 4 years ago looking for a job. He came in with his mom, and I couldn't give him a job there. He didn't have enough experience and all. But I said, "You really like this? You're interested in this? How would you? What about cabaret? What about piano bar?" And he said, "Sure." And he worked for me for a little while, and then I got him up to Brandy's to work with Jim Lazar. Jim put him on the door as a doorman, and then had him doing the projects, and then he started getting up to the piano. And really, in 4 years, he's grown into one of the major players in the piano player
Mhm.
genre. He's working at Mama's, he's working at Brandy's, he's worked at the Duplex, he's worked at Marie's, literally all over, and he's so good. I don't know, and I mean, I don't know where he learned all of it. It's like so much generations worth of information that I can
We have
throw
a
a
lot
name
of
out.
old souls in our younger people. I mean,
I
just by
think
nature of the
so.
fact that, like Hannah Jane, we spoke of, just by nature of them finding this kind of music, they have this old soul, old entertainer energy
Yeah.
to them. So
And
this
then
show
Anna
is,
Anna Anderson, by the way, also terrific.
where does is
And
Anna one of your servers?
Anna works at Don't Tell Mama. Anna is a happy hour bartender and works in the cabaret rooms at Don't Tell Mama. Actually, that's where we connected. And then
And
all
how
the way
about
to Dylan.
Handsome Dylan?
Dylan is an Ellen Stardust Diner server, you know.
And
And
we
then the
all
old,
know your special guests.
yeah. There's your young. Now we're going to the old, and not really as old as me, but oh well. Ruth Ann has been
Experienced.
around. Ruth Ann is a history of piano bar and cabaret, 45, 50 years worth of it. Okay.
Mhm.
And she worked as a Bevnap for a while. And we performed. Actually, Ruth Ann went with us when we went to London. She was part of that group.
Oh,
Peter Rampanero has been around also a long time. He's out in the Long Island. He's works out there with different churches out there and stuff doing performance. And he used to perform in New York more often, but he's coming back in. And then, of course, she's a juggernaut, Karen Mack. I mean,
she's the
she,
best. I've known her as long as I've been in the business, and I adore this woman.
yeah, back in the day, we used to compete because we would have her vocal group, Do Zoo, would be in the same categories with the Bevnaps.
Mhm.
So we actually competed for awards back then, but there were so many more vocal groups
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah, I
So
had the displeasure of competing against her too with Gregory for duos, Every year it was Karen Mack and somebody.
she's,
So
she's
she's
awesome.
awesome.
She finally got her due this year,
Yes, she
really,
did.
going up, doing a solo show at, well, she had her group, a band behind her, but playing Birdland is, that's like
And
a
winning
great,
the bistro for
yeah,
being a diverse singer. She calls
yeah.
herself a hybrid, and that's exactly what she is. So, people, you do not want to miss this show. This is going to be very, very special. November 13th, December 18th. Don't tell mama. Make your reservations now. I'll have these postcards up so you can just scan the little barcode at the bottom of this interview. But Scott, in shutting down a little bit, I just want to ask you. Um, what is it about you now that has changed, that has turned you into this mentor that you are? And why the change of focus? Why is that important to you?
I'm more determined now than ever. And I've always tried to put groups and put people up on the stage and teach them, give them the opportunity and then teach them about what it is that we call cabaret. And I have a mine is a very specific style of cabaret, but there is no one style of cabaret because
It's true.
everything
That's
is,
what makes it a beautiful umbrella. Yeah.
yeah, and you get to do it. And now it's my passion, my mission is to make sure that we give the excitement and the energy and the opportunity to still have this going strong because I believe in my heart of hearts that the world is going to come back to trying to be in places together with each other. It's one of the things I do. I don't want to say I preach at the show, but I definitely put it out there at the show. Are you enjoying yourself? Because this is what a piano bar felt like in
Right.
the 1980s. This is the crowd. Look around you. These are all people that are having a good time. Have a drink, listen to the song. We're all in one place together. It was a big party.
And
And
now more than ever, we need that camaraderie and we need that safe space to just let our hair down and enjoy and relax,
yes.
be the world situation, the work situation,
So
and everything else.
I'll be sitting in the back of the room at Lips on that Barbarino big night out. After everything is done, my pleasure is going to be to sit back in the back of the
Just,
room with a couple of friends and watch the show. Hear the harmony stuff. We have a magician coming this time
oh,
and
cool.
on the schedule, and we have Brandy Massey, who's an incredible Broadway performer, who's going to be one of our guests. And then of course the Tropicabana girls, and we have a comedian, Liz Davies, who's she's a server from Ellen's. She's a singer, great singer, but she decided about 2 or 3 years ago to start looking at comedy as an outlet.
Mhm.
She's done Gotham. She's run through going that route of banging through the clubs, and now we're going to have her and feature her on that night.
That's
So
awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've gotten to know Mr. Barbarino a little bit better as not only our illustrious leader here at NiteLife Exchange, but as the producer and the mensch and the gentleman that he is. I'm very grateful to know you, and I'm very grateful to be working with you on NiteLife Exchange. And we are literally NiteLife Exchange. Join us the next time. Thank you so much for joining us today, Scott. I
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day, everyone.